Hi everyone, I'm Brian Ewell, the Master Superintendent of Uplands Golf Club. Fighting a bit of a cold today, so my voice is a little bit hoarse, but this time next week I will have completed my 45th year here at Uplands Golf Club. It's hard to believe how quick time goes by, all those years. That's over 3 million rounds of golf that I've seen and far too many divots and ball marks that I've seen over the years. So I just thought I'd give you a little bit of, flashback what's happened in the past 45 years here at Uplands Golf Club. I've seen a lot of changes over the years, including back in the early 80s, 1980, 81. We used to use the black rubber mats for our tees in the wintertime because the tees were quite small and quite wet. So we had these rubber mats out here and conditions weren't the best. Then we also had to close the back six holes in the wintertime because 13 green was too soft and 14 and 15 were unplayable and people just would get stuck back there. So we'd actually close the back six holes down and also remove the power carts from November 1st to March 1st. So over 45 years, we've seen an awful lot of changes, including the type of mowing equipment we had. In the 1980s, we would have gang mowers. These are 20-foot wide mowers that we tow behind the tractor, and because they were so wide, we almost had to mow the fairways from tree line to tree line. So there wasn't a lot of rough out here. So you needed space to change those around. And then came the self-propelled fairway mowers, as the picture shows me in mid 1980s riding our brand new Ransom fairway mower and really changed the course conditions. I'm in that picture with Bill Chevetz, who was a former superintendent and a good friend for so many years. And then in 1984, the club pursued some course renovations with golf course architect Bill Robinson, and we rebuilt the 14th hole and the 15th hole and did some drainage in the back as well. And the whole goal was that we could play 18 holes in the wintertime. At that time, we also rebuilt the 13th green. So as the picture shows on the 14th hole, you can see the amount of soil that had to be used to shape the fairway. So it really was quite a big job to do that whole renovation project. We also dug a pond between our 14th and our 15th, and we're all right near the 15th green. So as the picture shows, there's an excavator there actually digging the pond. All that material that was excavated out was used to shape the fairways as well as build these large runway tee decks. So the members didn't want to see the rubber mats out there anymore. So we have these large expansive tee decks that can withstand the amount of traffic that we receive with almost 70,000 rounds a year. So we did that project in 1984 for approximately $168,000. So it was quite a big improvement on the golf course. At that same time, besides doing the tee decks, we started to get rid of our old bunkers that were just gray pit run sand, and we started to introduce silica sand around our greenside bunkers. So we did that up until the late 1980s. And then in my 45 years here at Uplands Golf Club, in order to make it playable, I've been a part of installing over 11 miles of drainage throughout the golf course, and it's made the golf course very playable. And then as things started to progress in golf course architecture, in the mid 1990s, we started to introduce some fairway bunkers with golf course architect Graham Cook. So we wanted to add a little bit more challenge. So that took us into the 90s to provide some nice challenges off the tee. Some of the other great course changes that we've seen is changing our irrigation system. Since the 1960s, Uplands Golf Club was watered by a quick coupler irrigation system. This was a utility cart that had a tray of about 40 sprinklers, and the irrigation tech would have to drive around and plug 4 sprinklers in per fairway. And we only had enough water pressure that we could water 9 holes per day. So, or sorry, yeah, 9 holes per night. So it also took them an hour to drive around the golf course, and with that hour, it was either an hour of water or an hour with no water. So we had a tendency to overwater, and then our greens, they actually had a valve where we'd open up and 4 sprinkler heads pop up. So it wasn't the most efficient way of irrigating the golf course. But then in 2003 to 2006, we chose to upgrade the irrigation system with the support of the membership of Uplands Golf Club. And we decided to install the irrigation system in-house. I'd been at a lot of other golf courses and seen some of the work that installers have done and some of the problems that superintendents were left with. So I'm glad we did that project. We did it over 3 years. I was very proud that number one, that we didn't close any holes. We just closed half a hole at time, so members would be able to play golf throughout the winter and enjoy still 18 holes of golf. And we did it in the off season from October 1st to March 1st, where we would go out and plow in irrigation pipe and wire. So and then one of the beauties of it is we saved the membership over $1 million. We installed that irrigation system for $840,000. And at that very same time, Victoria Golf Club was installing one for $2.4 million. And Cedar Hill Golf Course, a smaller golf course, was installing a system for $1.9 million. It gave us a state-of-the-art irrigation that we can have single head control throughout the entire property. We can make changes through our cell phones. We can use weather station data. And with this advent of this new irrigation system, and I'm proud to say 23 years later, we've never actually had a water main break, a large main break, and we've never had wire failures from poor quality of wire installations. So it saw the grounds crew install 14 miles of pipe along with 80 miles of wire, and the end result of going from a quick coupler irrigation system to the fully automated irrigation system, we were able to reduce our water consumption down to 21 million gallons. So the difference of what we used with a quick coupler system to our automated system, it was actually enough to fill an Olympic-sized swimming pool 26 times. So that's a significant amount of water. So in 2011, we chose to pursue Autobahn certification. So that was 6 different levels of environmental certification that took about 2 or 3 years to achieve. And I was really proud that within 2 years, we received our full certification, and we have to recertify every 2 years. So a lot of different environmental certifications, from water quality management to wildlife and habitat enhancement and many other different levels. So this has been a great benefit to the look of the golf course, that we preserve the just the overall environment and the golfing conditions as well. So, and speaking of golfing conditions, boy, things have really changed since the early 1980s to where we are today. So when I look back in the early 1980s, we would aerate greens twice a year and we top dress twice a year. Once the winter rains came, the greens were actually too soft to cut. So we wouldn't be able to cut greens until probably about March. So from November to March, the greens weren't cut. And when we did cut them, we finally would mow at about a quarter of an inch would be our first mowing height. Now we maintain a 1/8 inch winter mowing height, and we mow under a tenth of an inch. So boy, how times have changed as far as playing conditions. So with the advents of top dressers and all the other practices we do, we've really improved the playing conditions here at Uplands Golf Club. And in my tenure at Uplands Golf Club, I've had the privilege to be working with the PGA Tour since 1984. To see the likes of Craig Stadler show up to Tony Finau in our lunchroom thanking the ground staff for course conditions. So we've really learned a lot working with the PGA Tour, and coming this September, this will be our 24th PGA Tour sanction event that we've held here at Uplands Golf Club, the most professional events of any golf course in Canada. And I had a nice little recognition from the PGA Tour a couple of years back. They presented me with a plaque that acknowledged that I was one of 4 superintendents in North America to ever host 20 or more PGA Tour sanctions events. So a nice feather in my cap, and it's been a privilege to work with the ground staff over the years to provide great conditions, including we've won multiple best condition golf course awards from the PGA Tour when we've held the tour event for the last since 1984. So lots of changes, that's for sure. I've had the privilege to work with so many great staff over the years, including working with my brother Dennis, who will be retiring this year after 42 years, as well as my 2 daughters, my oldest Sarah and my youngest Amanda. And what could I say? My wife Pamela, for the past 33 years, she's been a real trooper. It's not been easy to be married to a golf course superintendent, the hours of dedication, but she's embraced it. She helps us out every year with the tour event, including blowing in the dark and having little lights on our crotch shoes to help us blow greens, including to the day after on teardown when I don't have much staff because they're tired. Pam was willing to help blow fairways to be trained on a tractor to clean the golf course. So I'd like to thank Pam, and I love you for all those years of love and support. When you look at my time here at Uplands Golf Club, 45 years, wow, you know, how could you? To give you an idea, I'm so thankful and blessed to be working for such great people, the members of Uplands Golf Club. My oldest daughter, Sarah, was born in 1997, and I remember coming home day after day, bringing baby gifts home to Pam for our newborn, Sarah. And it was probably after about 6 weeks, Pam counted it up and said, Brian, do you realize that we received 176 baby gifts from the membership of Uplands Golf Club? That shows you the kind of love and support that we receive here at Uplands Golf Club, and including myself. Now, with support like that, like, why wouldn't you stay here for 45 years? That's for sure. To my members and my staff, you are my family. I appreciate your support over so many years. I feel privileged to spend my last 45 years here at Uplands Golf Club, and I look forward to seeing the golf course for year number 46. So thank you, everyone. What an amazing career.